right?
Well, Holly, no matter what technology can do, nothing can tear us apart on this interview. It's a pleasure to have you joining me on the show. How are you?
Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I am very, very well, thank you. Busy, busy, busy as usual. How are you?
I'm very good, and also bubbly, 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 and busy. Is kind of your motto, isn't it, Holly?
Yes, it's kind of turned into that, I think. I mean, it's just constant, which is good. It's a good thing. I like being busy. I love to have things to do, and yeah, being bubbly. I suppose that's just me.
And also with coronavirus out there, it's okay to be bubbly.
100%, definitely. Oh, do you know what? And it's okay not to be as well. Don't get me wrong. I have
Yeah,
days where I'm so not bubbly, because it's hard for everyone. We've all been through it. The last year, 18 months, um, and it is a difficult one. But you've just got to make the most of the situation you're in. If you're isolating, just do what you can, because we've all been through
a
been
lot.
through it.
I've actually noticed that chess is a good coping mechanism, and drafts. You gotta love a
Chess.
game of chess and drafts. That gets you through lockdown. It got me through lockdown, and
Did
that's
it?
saying something. Yes,
I love
100%.
that. I've never played chess in my life.
It's quite a complicated game. You need to have the right mindset. If you turn up with the wrong mindset, then it's not going to end well.
Sure. Do you know what I can imagine? And I've never played it, but I did watch The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, which is based around chess, and I thought that was very interesting.
You've never played chess? I've never seen the Queen's Gambit, so we have to do something right now. I'll have to go and log into Netflix and check the Queen's Gambit out. I think
And I'll have
that's
to
a
go
must.
to the
Got to
shop
write that
and
down.
yeah, you do that. And I'll buy a chessboard and I'll get going.
There we go. So Holly, so before you started TikTok, let's go back in the Wayback Machine, all the way to when before you started TikTok.
Mhm.
What was your career ambition, and would you say that TikTok kind of changed what your ambition to be was?
Yes and no. That's a great question. So before TikTok, I had literally just finished drama school. So I've always been into acting, performing, being silly and comedy, all that kind of stuff that I do on my TikTok. Always loved that. Before TikTok, I knew I wanted to perform in some kind of way. I thought I wanted to be a presenter, da da da. And then TikTok came along, and I kind of realized that the performer that I wanted to be, which is like doing comedy and doing silly characters, all that kind of stuff that I do, I kind of found out that I could do that. And I feel so lucky to be making a career from that as we speak. And so I feel like in a way it didn't change what I wanted to do, but it made me realize that I could do what I wanted to do, if that follows.
Yeah, I completely agree. And coming from the same background myself, it's really important to have the confidence. If you have the confidence that you think you can go somewhere and make a name for yourself in the career that you want to be in, then there's no problem in getting where you want to be, is there?
I agree 100% to that. I believe that whatever you put your mind to in life, if you want something bad enough, you will make it happen. I completely agree. And TikTok has given such a platform for creators to do just that. It's such a brilliant tool, because there's everyone's on TikTok right now.
Everybody is on
Everyone's
TikTok.
there. Everyone's
Everybody's on
always there.
TikTok. Even
Mhm.
Gordon Ramsay, and he's still
Exactly.
swearing.
Yeah, exactly. If he can do it, then anyone can do it, right?
I had an ambition a long time ago to host the X Factor, kick Dermot O'Leary out of his place, but I think
Love
the
that.
X Factor's been kicked out of its place right now.
I saw that. My
Yes,
goodness.
such a shame. You got to love the X Factor. But I mean, bringing that up, X Factor grew up in an age when there was no TikTok, there was no Instagram, there was no, Snapchat. So do you think that some of these big shows that were watched by, people like us back in the day, it was such a
Sure.
big show. It was making all these stars like One Direction and Leona Lewis and Little Mix. Do you think that these social media platforms have shown a catalyst to affect those much loved shows now?
Well, I think you're probably right in saying that, to be honest. As you said, like we were the generation who'd watch that every year. I remember watching it and thinking, oh my goodness me, these people are amazing. I'd love to be on stage performing like they are. And now I suppose platforms like YouTube and TikTok have given people like us the opportunity to do that. You know, we don't
Yes.
have to get onto a TV show. We don't have to have this huge opportunity. It's literally on our phones. It's a couple of clicks away. So I feel like I agree with that. You know, X Factor going, and yeah, just other TV shows are just they're just not what they used to be. And I think that probably is because of the internet and social media. I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely. Now, Holly, tell me about the very first TikToker that you watched, and did you take anything from them to help your own TikTok drive?
Oh, that's a great question. The first TikToker I would watch, I feel like it was a guy. I think his name's Lewis, and he's from up north somewhere, and he does like dances with his mum and his dad. And I'm not really a dancer, so I don't do that kind of dancing. But I remember watching him
Yeah.
and thinking, like wow, like that's so cool. I think it was the fact that he was filming these videos from home, you know, and just like setting up the camera. Do you know what I mean? Not even with like great
Yeah.
quality, just popping
Yeah.
a phone up and just having fun. And I saw that and thought, wow, like if he can do it and so many other people are doing it, then why can't I? And I feel like that definitely um inspired me to start, because I feel like sometimes there's a bit of a stigma. You think, oh, maybe I'm not going to film something today because maybe I don't have the best camera or a good microphone, and there's so many excuses that you can make up in your head, you know, to stop the process happening. And we all do it. We make excuses if we know we want to go forward with something and maybe we're a bit apprehensive or scared to start something. But I feel like, yeah, videos like that and creators like him who just did it really inspired me at the time. So I feel like I definitely have taken something
Yeah.
from watching TikTok
And
from the beginning.
you don't necessarily need all the best equipment to put great TikTok skits out there. I think that's the kind of the barrier that a lot of people need to break, is that, you know, some of these big names that have all the best technology,
Mhm.
sometimes they don't get as much views as just somebody who's doing it themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. 100%. I film all my videos from just my everyday iPhone that I use for everything else, and it's not, you know, the newest one or the best quality, but it works, you know.
Yeah, and you can
It does the
rely on it.
job.
You can rely on
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And it, you know, it wasn't an investment for me. Like I didn't pay a lot of money just for the purpose of filming the videos. I just used something I already had, and I feel like a lot of people can do that, you know.
Now, when you set out creating your skits, did you intend to appeal to a certain target audience, or were you thinking, right, I'm just going to let it go with the flow? And since you've been releasing your skits, have you noticed a certain target audience that you yourself have been appealing to?
Yeah, so I suppose when I started out the sketches, the Helga and Mummy ones, I kind of knew that they would be appealing to a younger audience, because the characters are quite light-hearted and silly, and like in real life, I do children's entertaining, so I'm quite good with children. I have like a good interaction with them. I'm good at putting on silly voices and getting on their level. So I kind of had a bit of an expectation that, or I like assumed that I would probably be. And I do. I'd say, you know, a large percentage of my audience are younger, maybe 8 to 16, say about that age. But I do have like so many adults who send me messages, and they say they watch it like on their own or with their children, and they say how much it makes them laugh as well, which I find just is so special that I appeal to, you know, a big target audience,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And it makes you feel as well that you know, you can do your job and you can do it well. If you're getting all these great comments from other people, you're thinking, right, okay, I've kind of proven now that I can do exactly what I say I can do, and I can take it to the next level.
Definitely. Oh, 100%. And and it's good to know that, because as much as I love doing these sketches that I'm doing, at some point in my career, I will want to do other sketch characters who maybe appeal to an older audience with maybe different, topics and subjects. And I want to act in dramas and comedies that maybe are for like a 16 plus audience. So it is good that I've kind of got a few of that older demographic on my side already, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just don't fall into the Downton Abbey category. Just
No.
don't do that.
I don't think I would be able to. I think I'm a bit too loud and silly for that.
I have been looking for my future CBBC presenting partner, so I think I might have found her right here.
No way!
Yes, why not?
I
Holly
love it.
And Cal Mack.
I feel like this is the dream team.
This is the dream team. I think it's exactly the dream team. Two confident people right here. We could entertain the masses. Do you remember that show 50/50 that used to be on CBBC?
Of course I do.
We could reinvent 50/50. That would be incredible. Can you imagine now in the studio, we're sitting there and we have Oucho or Hacker the dog sitting next to us, and it would just be the ultimate thing. Who cares about watching Phil and Holly? That Holly on This Morning.
That Holly.
You're obviously the better Holly than that Holly, and I'm obviously the better Cal Mack than good old Philip.
Yep, that's the one. Honestly, you are talking my language now. This honestly, that would be like my dream gig. Honestly, how much fun would that be?
Would you say as well that watching CBBC kind of influenced you as well, watching all those great programs? And for me, when I was watching the presenters on CBBC, I was analyzing how they would move, how they would interact. They might be, because a lot of presenters, they read off a script,
sure.
a telecast, but it's the way that they they move to the words. They might be reading them, but they present them in a certain way. And I'm going to take two people as an example here, Ant and Dec. They make it look so flawless. So I mean, considering they're my inspiration, tell me about who is your inspiration, Holly? It can be a presenter, it can be an actor, actress, comedian. Who inspired you when you were younger?
Do you know what? I always come back to this person. There are so many people I could say for this, I could talk for hours, but there is always one person that I come back to who I watched from when I was a child, and I have watched him do all the different shows that he's ever done. And that person is Stephen Mulhern. And it's funny because he's obviously very good friends with Ant and Dec, who was your answer. But I watched him from when it was CITV. He'd do the Sacred Circle, Magic Circle. He'd do all the magic tricks. So he was doing that. And then obviously I watched him do Britain's Got More Talent. And
Catchphrase.
Yes, Catchphrase and Saturday Night Takeaway when he's with Ant and Dec, and then In for a Penny, which is his own show now, and just every single program that he does and presents, I'm just in awe of him. And as you said, he's probably reading off a prompter and it's scripted, of course it is, but it just is so natural, and it sounds like the words are coming out from nowhere, and I just love that so much. I'm really inspired by him.
Also, Basil Brush, he's a big inspiration as well. You can't beat Basil Brush, and Nev the Bear.
Nev the Bear. Oh my goodness me! I feel like we had the same TV childhood.
Yeah, we did. We definitely did. I'm just glad that Mr. Prank didn't end up squashing Nev in Bear Behaving Badly.
Came close so many times.
so many times. So as well, tell me about the Helga skits. Now obviously they are really special to you. They're very important. They've been getting all these views on TikTok, which is so good. Tell me about the process of that. How did it begin, and did you expect it to get as big as it has?
Definitely not for that question. I did not expect it to blow up as much as it has. I'm very grateful that it has done. It started off at university. I think I was in my second year, and I lived with 7 people, all my friends, and I just started doing the Helga's voice around the house. And when we went out to do our food shop, and just my group of friends are just funny, we all put voices on and just laugh through life, really. That's how we do it. And yeah, so I just started doing this, and one of my friends, whose name is Polly, she just pretended to Polly put the kettle on, that's the one.
that must have been a great uni saying for you.
Yeah, it was. We had so many, but yeah, Polly and Holly got mixed up all the time as well, so that was quite fun. Yeah, she just started pretending to be the mum of this voice I was doing, and then she just said, right, your name's Helga, and she acted exactly like Mummy does in the sketches, like I act as Mummy. It just started from there. I went around, I did it at uni, everyone was laughing, I did it just everywhere we went, really. And that's where the idea came from. I never really thought about filming it and putting it online, because I suppose I was a bit apprehensive that it might have just been like a, not an inside joke, but people were laughing because they knew me, kind of thing. I wasn't sure if that would translate on another platform. And one day I decided to try it. And the video did very, very well. And I thought, well, I'll do that again. And it just kept doing well. And then the rest is history. Here we are.
Boom, boom, boom. What you meant? I'm quite intrigued when you said quite apprehensive. Was there any other thing that you were kind of apprehensive about? Entering this amazing idea into the social media world, knowing that it can be quite a brutal place, and we've been seeing it in quite different forms, from trolling and racism and all that kind of thing. Were any of them kind of apprehensive for you to put it online, knowing that a lot of TikTokers do get, abusive comments? Well, practically all of them. I've spoken to so many big TikTokers, and even they say they receive, hate on the app. Were you kind of apprehensive knowing that could have been a possibility, putting stuff online?
Yes, I suppose so. I've done online stuff for years, so I've always tried to be like a YouTuber. I've always posted on Instagram, all that kind of stuff, and nothing kind of ever worked, because I suppose looking back on it, I was trying to be someone I wasn't. I was trying to make it online by doing vlogs, that kind of stuff, and being like, hey guys, this is what I'm wearing today, which I love watching those vlogs, do not get me wrong. I'm not belittling those YouTubers
Absolutely
at
not.
all. They're doing a great job. But I suppose that just kind of isn't me. And I didn't really put two and two together. I didn't really think, oh, I could do sketches online. Like, and that they were hand in hand, and that's what worked. So I'd say that I was definitely apprehensive for that. I would say so. But on the flip side, this has all happened very quickly. I've gained a following very quickly. And it kind of, when I first put the Helga and Mummy stuff up, it happened so quickly that I didn't really have time to process what was happening. So like I didn't think, oh, am I going to get loads of hate, but I do get a lot of, maybe I wouldn't say hate comments, but a lot of comments on those videos of people saying like, oh, this kid is so annoying, or like, oh, just make her shut up, all that kind of stuff. But I like that. I'm like, good, it is meant to start a conversation. She's meant to be annoying.
That's it.
It's
showing that your character is working, and it is touching the imaginations and the feelings of the viewers watching. It's kind of like mission accomplished for you. At the end of the day, it is the mission accomplished.
100%, definitely. And don't get me wrong, there have been times where I have received like nasty comments, and I have looked at them, but I've definitely learned that to now just delete. I don't reply, I don't entertain it, because at the end of the day, that person is obviously going through their own things. They don't mean that. They're having a hard time, and I feel sorry for that person. I really do, but I don't interact with it. I just focus on the nice comments and the ones which say, oh, she's annoying, because that's good as well. She's meant to be annoying.
Well, from me, you're one of the most talented TikTokers I've seen. There is no dispute to your talent.
Oh, wow, and thank you.
Just ignore what people are saying. Just keep doing what you're doing, because it is fantastic, and you're definitely going to go places. And we will be on CBBC one day, I'm telling you. Just have that drive.
I'm so here for that. I'm ready.
Boom, get the suitcase. And finally, Holly, where exactly do you want to take this journey? Do you want to continue let's talk about the next year first, before we think about the next 5-10 years. What is your plans for the next year?
plans for this year, the next 12 months, is
you're free now. Get out there.
Yeah, go. So I think just developing what I am doing, keeping it up, because it's sometimes difficult to keep it up because it's fast paced, it's momentum, and I have had times where I've slipped down a little bit. It's always a roller coaster. But my aim of the next year is to give up all of my other jobs and be a full-time social media content creator, influencer, if whatever you want to call it. And yeah, to have this full time so I can put even more of my energy into it, because I'd say at the moment I'm only able to give like 50% of myself and my time because I have so many other commitments. So within my next year is to be full time and to just keep creating new ideas that people really like and engage with. I think that's what the plan is.
Great, Holly. And finally, something new for season 2. Apart from yourself, tell me who your favorite TikToker is and why.
My favorite TikToker, this is an easy question for me. My favorite TikToker is a guy called Dennis Escazan, and he is a wonderful human, and I'm very, very happy to say that I'm friends with him and that real life friends where I speak to him, and from the day I saw him on TikTok, he just creates such wholesome content and he puts other people first, and it just brings a smile to my face every time he is on my For You page, and that's why he's my favorite.
Great, Holly. Well, it's been great having you on the show. I've loved every minute of it, chatting to you. And finally, for the viewers that are going to listen into this episode, where can they find your TikTok?
My TikTok is at the Hoss. That is THEHOS. Woo!
And that's not the Hoff for you getting any ideas. It's the Hoss.
The Hoss. There, not the Hoss.
Well,